Why can't I get myself a nice, wholesome OF girl? I'll tell you why. Because I've been doing self-improvement wrong all these years. Because a man called Claviclular, he's showing me the way. Now I can ascend. If I'd known having a hammer smashed into my face was going to improve my chances with other girls, I would have told my ex-girlfriend I wanted to bang her sister every day. There's this community, Lookmaxxing, BP. Not BP, we're not talking about BP Garage, we're talking about, I don't know, British Petroleum. This thing's very popular with like the youth dem. The youth dem want to ascend. The youth dem want to be looking good. You may know what Lookmaxxing is. You may have heard about that, but you may not have a clue what the hell it is. You may be one of them people who's been watching that Louis Theroux Netflix thing and be like, oh, yeah, the Manosphere. That's a threat to national security. That's making all the youth go crazy. Yeah, they're pushing birds off buildings because of the Manosphere. Whoa, that's awful, isn't it? Andrew Tate and that, damn. Like Andrew Tate, Manosphere documentary. I know he's not even in it. That's because he's, I don't know, busy ranting with his top off, all sweaty, I suppose. The problem with that is like, look, Andrew Tate, what's that? That's like 2022, bro. 2022 when he was popping off. This is 2026. He's about as relevant to the young men, the young dems. He's about as relevant to the young dems as like, he's like Clark Gable to them. You know what I mean? Manosphere, no one cares about that no more. It's all about Lookmaxxing, jaws, skin, boofing powder. Like that's where it's at right now. That's what the youth dem are into. Talk about a little too late. Everyone's talking about, oh, have you seen Adolescence? And the Manosphere documentary by Louis Theroux? Like, no, it's not 2022. We're over it. Talk about an opportunity missed. They're all worried about like all these influencers. They're like, oh my God, they're teaching young men to be like misogynistic and all this. When they've missed the big elephant in the room, the mega elephant. There's a huge problem going on. If you actually bother to look into like the Manosphere and then see like the adjacent stuff, which is like Lookmaxxing and all them thing, then you'd know that you've been talking about the wrong thing. They're all too busy fixated on the one thing that no one cares about no more and not looking at the thing that is pretty shocking. Like I watched an hour and a half YouTube documentary by a guy called, I don't know, Chicken Charlie or some stuff on Claviclular. And this guy's messed up. We're talking about an anxiety pandemic amongst young men. But no, what they want to talk about is anxiety problems amongst young women. What they want to talk about when it comes to young men is like, oh, they're becoming all misogynist and thing. They're possible incels, which means they're a part of a terrorist group. Trying to sell this idea, oh, we need to worry about incels, because, you know, 20% of men are like turning into incels. Every 15-year-old is like incel now, and like, you need to worry about the incels and all the terrorist threats from the incels. The biggest threat since Al-Qaeda. It's like, is it? You met one. When's the last time you had to worry about an incel, you know? It's like some government propaganda thing. They're like, oh, instead of on the buses, when it says, you know, oh, hey, have you seen anything suspicious? If you see anything suspicious, or a bag that's been left unattended, report it to a member of staff or the police. It's changing to, have you seen any man looking like he can't get laid on the bus? Then you need to report it to a member of staff. Does this man look like he can't get laid? Does he look like an involuntary celibate? Well, that's a problem. He might be committing the next 9/11 with his what? What's he going to do? That's what people are concerned about. Like, no, you should be concerned about an anxiety pandemic. Because I watched this hour and a half documentary on this guy. This guy has got problems. He's there at like 14, 15, injecting steroids, and now he's running a course encouraging other 14, 15-year-olds to inject steroids. Now look, I'm no doctor. I'm just a drug addict. But I do know a couple of things about drugs. And I know that injecting steroids at 14 is a bad idea. I would say that. They don't even know where to stick the needle, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is a bad idea. Of all the bad ideas I've heard in the world, this is a very bad one. So Claviclular is out there injecting steroids when he's a little kid, and then he's also like talking about how he has to take all copious amount of drugs to deal with his anxiety because he has approach anxiety when it comes to women. He's got no self-esteem, no self-confidence. He's also drinking booze every 90 minutes to keep him on that level. You know, the first drink confidence when everything seems cool. He's trying to maintain at that level. Like, when he's at school and university and things. It's like, that is like, that's mad. Now, the way I like to look at people is always like, imagine there's someone you're at school with, okay? Who are they hanging out with? Are you hanging out with them? What's everyone saying about them? Now, look, I'm not saying like I'm some sort of, he's a weirdo. Like, I'm a weirdo. Look at the mush. Weirdo biscuits, right? Social anxiety, I get it, yeah. But I wasn't walking around necking a bottle of vodka every 90 minutes to keep myself on the level. I just like talk to people and they talk back to me. It was kind of a very normal thing. But I think that probably comes down to a much larger issue that involves the Chinese government. Stay tuned. But you know what I'm saying? Like, right, like this guy is messed up. He's taking copious amounts of drugs. His ding dong don't work no more. And he's encouraging other young'uns to do this. And young'uns are well into it. Like, isn't that a major problem? How have we overlooked that there's a massive anxiety epidemic or pandemic or whatever the hell you're supposed to call it amongst teenage boys instead of, but they're all fixated on, oh no, incels, we need to protect humanity. We need to round up a bunch of 15-year-old boys and send them to Guantanamo because they might be like, I don't know, posting in a Reddit forum, oh, I hate chicks, they suck. Like, all these dudes are doing is just sitting in their bedroom listening to Juice WRLD, all girls are the same. You know what I mean? That's fine, don't worry about it. You're a moody teenager, get over it. What you really want to be worried about is the fact that, like, oh, I can't do anything in life unless I smash a hammer in my face and inject steroids into my groin. Like, that's a problem, innit? Anyone want to address that little problem going on there? Do you know what I'm saying? But oh no, what they're too busy with, especially the mainstream thing, the problem with them, they're always so far behind and they just don't get stuff, you know what I mean? They did the Manosphere documentary and they'll be like trying to, they couldn't get Andrew Tate, couldn't get him on, but they got one of his cronies on there and they got that guy, what's his name, HMS Instagrammy. They got them people on there and they're going, oh, look at this, oh, they believe in having multiple birds and oh, they promote OnlyFans but don't even believe in it. Oh, they're selling scams. Yeah, they are selling scams. But who isn't? It's just like HMS TikTok or HMS Instagram, whoever his name is. He's got this Telegram group giving tips on like trades to make and stocks to invest in. And I put 500 quid in and it didn't make nothing. Do you not know the creator economy? Do you not know how many people out there are just selling absolute crap? What is his biggest crime? His biggest crime, HMS Instagrammy, is just being just that guy. Now imagine that guy at school. Everyone knows a guy like that at school. Everyone knows a guy like that down the pub. Everyone knows a guy like that they work with. There's millions of guys like that in Britain, for frick's sake. You know what I'm saying? There's millions of them, right? But a lot of them aren't selling courses. But everyone online is selling a course. What's your problem? Probably one of the biggest issues with like an Andrew Tate type course is the things they're teaching them going, oh, you've got to like distance the girl from her friends and isolate her. Like, that's probably a crime in Britain because everything's a crime in Britain. I've committed 6 crimes in this video that I should be arrested for according to the British law. But what I'm saying is like, that's a problem. Didn't bring that one up. But who isn't selling some crap course? So he's got some crap course that says, oh, you can make loads of money. Who doesn't have one of them? Have you ever seen this bird I've seen some bird who flashes up on YouTube ads saying, hey, do you want to make 10 figures a year? Do you want to make a 10-figure monthly income from just selling books on Amazon and you can't read or write? And she's like, yeah, I can't read or write neither, but I make loads of money. I've got 60 books listed on Amazon, pulling in 16K a week. Just click on the link to do my course to learn how you can make loads of money on Amazon and that. What do you think that's selling? Do you think that's as good or worse as HMS Instagrammy's little Telegram group? Come off it, mate. What are you talking about? Every video is there going, hey, how to make $1 million by doing nothing. Like, that's just all, like, there's 1 million people selling a course like that. Or an Instagram, a Telegram group, whatever it is. You know what I mean? There's loads of people doing that. What's your beef? Like, oh, well, he's doing this. Oh, my God. Like, who isn't? I've probably got a course that I forgot about. It's probably in the bio. Go on, join it. I can't remember what I'm teaching, but I'm teaching something. You know what I mean? This stuff's easy. Created with Claude in about 2.5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Got a landing page, got a Facebook ads strategy. We've got 16,000 chatbots. spamming the shit out of my rubbish course, and I still can't remember what the hell it is. I must be making money from it, but I've got so many bank accounts that I don't even know where the cash is at. See, the real problem is with people like that when it comes to like the Manosphere, or whatever it is, or people like, you know, HMS, Facebooky, like, it goes back to the whole Jay Goody thing. People like Louis Furox, and he's a good guy, he makes good documentaries, they're very entertaining. But they're from that sort of cloth, the old school cloth of like, you know, maybe not necessarily in, but you know, the people who like go, I've watched it and comment on social media going, oh, this is terrible, there's the worst thing that happened to humanity since the H-bomb. They're just like, well, the problem is like, they've always had a beef with people who they think shouldn't be famous, like Jay Goody. Do you know what I mean? When Jay Goody became famous, they're like, she's not supposed to be famous, famous people are supposed to be famous. What the hell Jay Goody being famous for? Oh, what a disgrace. This is the worst thing that happened. They've always been like that. And people from the internet, they hate them people, whether it's the BBC, Daily Mail. They've always gone after people who are big on the internet and making millions. Like, this goes back to Zoella. Remember Zoella? What did Zoella used to do? She just used to sit on her bed and be like, oh guys, look at this hair clip I got from Accessorize. She talked about that for 15 minutes. And what did the BBC and the Daily Mail say about her? They're saying, she's worse than the devil. Zoella is the devil, and she's going to destroy the very fabric of the universe. There's going to be beheadings in Islamabad because people are so upset by Zoella. That's what they used to say. So what's the difference? HMS Twittery, like, he's just an average guy who's popped off. And everyone's like, oh, no, this is a problem. Like, is he doing problematic stuff? Yeah, but that's a kick thing. That's a whole different story. That whole kick thing, that's where all the naughty boys go and act real naughty. That's the whole business model. Talk about that, you know what I mean? Talk about how Kick encourages content to be pumped to kids. Don't talk about some guy who's 21 who you think's running a scam. His scam is nowhere near as bad as scams that me and my friends used to run when we were his age. Do you know what I mean? And a bit older, do you know what I mean? If we had the internet age back when I was his age, you know what I mean? I would have been running scams like that. I wouldn't have been doing the stupid scams I was doing. You know what I mean? At one time I sold a guy some crushed up night nurse mixed with broken glass to make it a bit more spicy on the old schnozzbonker. Do you know what I mean? That guy rammed it up his hoofter, had a brain hemorrhage, claret spilling out everywhere. And I just laughed. I was like, I made 50 quid. Like, that's way worse than some guys going, yeah, guys, get my Telegram and I'm going to show you how to make money trading stocks and shares. Like, come off it. No one, everyone gets fleeced trading. Do you know what I mean? One time I was trading on the toilet, drunk as hell. I bought these nuts coin. I lost a fortune. I just thought it was funny, like, these nuts. I mean, everyone's an idiot when it comes to trading. Don't worry about it. Look at me, I'm a guy wearing a purple ski mask. But here's the point, back to Claviclular. There's a whole bunch of these guys, and they're just way more influential. Like, they're way more problematic than the HMS Instagrammy. You know what I'm saying? He's just a public schoolboy, isn't he? Like, you know, what's the beef? You know what I mean? Andrew Tate, I mean, like, who cares about Andrew Tate? No one does. And who are the other people? Sneaky Woe. What, Snack Woe? Sneaky Beaky? I mean, like, who is he? I've never met him. I've never seen him around the ends. I don't even know if he's real. But the problem is, like, that's like, there's a whole bunch of these little Lookmaxxxing, Claviclular. I seen him on stream, buzzed out his nut and having to get an ambulance called on him because he's absolutely so twatted off his nut. Do you know what I mean? Is that not a problem? Is that the sort of thing you want the kids watching? But then again, when we were young, who were we looking up to when we were young? It was people like Kurt Cobain, Lane Staley, Scott Weiland, Chris Cornell. I don't know if you noticed, all these people killed themselves. You know what I mean? These were our idols. They're all drug addicts who killed themselves. I mean, at least Claviclular probably says, you know, put a bit of moisturizer on your face. Do you know what I mean? Although he's injecting steroids, so that's still pretty bad. It's bad. Like, this is clearly a problem. If you've got people influencing 14-year-olds to go inject steroids, I'd say that's the problem. Rather than Andrew Tate going, well, buy Bugatti and I don't know, disrespect birds. Like, come off it. Come off it. If you really do care about young men, then you'd be going, yo, I think young men have a massive anxiety problem. But it's always focused on girls. It's like, oh, girls, they're looking to unrealistic beauty standards on Instagram. Well, clearly so are men, except the girls on Instagram are just using filters and getting surgery to get big old knockers. These mans Claviclular, and all his ilks. The Australian one who looks like a Frankenstein's monster. I don't know who he is. And there's some other guy with a weird wig. He looks absolutely messed up. There's one guy who's got a jaw that's, wider than a 6-foot surfboard. Like all of them. Talk about unrealistic standards. It is kind of realistic because you can achieve it. But we're talking like injecting steroids, smashing your face with a hammer, boshing bass. This ain't good, is it? Claviclular is 21. He's 21. And this guy's got no social skills. He's 21. He's got no social skills. He can't relate to people. He's fixated on weird stuff that he learned on the internet in niche communities. Now that niche community is now becoming more mainstream for young people. He's 21. So how was he during the pandemic? He was probably about 15. Yeah, a very impressionable time. Why do you think this incel-y thing that you think is a huge problem when it's not? Because how many attacks are being made by incels? I think 0.26. So he was like quarter of an incel, apparently. What's the real problem here? If there's a mass social anxiety thing going on and people are just obsessed with weird stuff that they learned on the internet because they had too much time in their hands and spent too much time indoors, and streaming has popped off and become real popular because people weren't allowed outside. Do you think that maybe this is the problem? And people are like, why are kids getting stupider and have more anxiety? Because you locked them up at home for a couple of years, probably. I don't know. So whose fault is that? I'll tell you what, it's the Chinese government's fault. It's the Chinese government's fault for having that weird pangolin sanctuary, do you know what I mean, in the city of Wu-Tang, right? Wu-Tang Clan City. We all know what went down there. Everyone started sneezing, and then everyone's locked up, and all the kids have become weird and smashing hammers in their face. I would say that's a bit of a problem, don't you? I don't know, call me crazy. Like I said, I'm a guy that used to sell crushed up pharmaceuticals as something else and make money and laugh. You know what I mean? Sometimes I pose as a girl online and fleece Bangladeshis. But either way, do you know what I mean? I ain't be doing none of that. That's just whose fault is it? It's all the government's fault. If you want to blame anybody, why the Manosphere, Andrew Tate, Claviclular, Lookmaxxing, why guys are getting jaws this wide and taking God knows what drugs to achieve some stupid ascension to loopy land, right? It's the government's fault, and it's the Chinese government's fault first, and then all the other government's fault. The World Economic Forum, they're the one that done it. It's their fault. If they're worried about incels, then take responsibility for creating one of the world's most ludicrous terrorist organization. Is it really? Oh yeah, we need to be worried about the incels. I'm always worried about aren't you worried about the incels? Every time you get on a plane, you're looking around going, where's the incels at, man? Are you worried about that? Absolutely preposterous. You've got young men out there online acting crazy because they've got no social skills. You know what I mean? Things I did in my 20s will give them nightmares. Absolute nightmares. Things I just did before I started this video give them nightmares too. But don't worry about that. That geezer's not going to say nothing, is he? Young men being stupid, nothing new there, nothing new. That's nothing to worry about, is it? Oh, young men are idiots. People between the age of 14 and 23 are nutters. Yeah, they are. Yeah. People are still nutters into their 40s these days. Because of the pandemic, who knows what's going to go on? So, is it ridiculous that you should do all these things to, attract some bird? Nah, I don't know. What's wrong with birds? Are they even into that kind of thing? They're probably not. They probably say, do you know what? I like a man with a fat stomach and a witty personality. Well, guess what, baby? That's me. I ain't got nothing more to say on the matter. I probably missed some points that I should have made. I probably should have been a bit more coherent. Who really cares? Go buy something off the website. All right, love you. Oh, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up.